Hello and welcome to another episode of Retro-Spective. Today we are looking at one of my favourite childhood films, at least from recollection, Small Soldiers. I am one of your hosts, Ben. Please take it away, Charles.
Also, one of my childhood favourites.
Wow, don't copy me.
I'm the one that has a whole shelf of the original toys.
I just don't
so
collect toys.
I'm the bigger fan, obviously.
Okay. I can bow down to that. Having all those toys is very jealous, essentially.
And I can still name all of the Gorgonites and the Commando Elite.
I probably couldn't even do it after watching it.
But they got such memorable names. How could you forget something like Slamfist because his hand is a big boulder, or Ocular because his face is a big eye, or Freakenstein because he got broken and turned into Radio Person?
I mean, the Gorgonites for me were the worst part about the flipping movie.
You fucking what? What?
I actually love.
No. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that quickly. What the fuck? What's wrong with
the character designs and things were cool. The voice acting was cool, but they actually just didn't really do much in the film at all. Like, it was only after, towards the end of the film where the commandos, were basically bombing. I'm fairly sure it was Alan or Chrissy's house, and only about halfway into all the fire tennis balls coming in and then the power being cut and, fireworks flying through and all that type of shit, did the Gorgonites suddenly go, I think we should help.
But that's literally their whole character arc. That's the point of them. They're massive pussies that hide because that's what the CEO wanted them to be. Because doesn't he say to oh my god, I can't think of his name, Blue Man Group guy from
Arrested Development. I know who you mean, the mole man.
Yeah, he's just like, oh no, they're really cool, and he's like, no, they're pussies. That the Commando Elite are just they're the baddies that the Commando Elite are gonna beat the crap out of. I don't know, but the point is that they're really scared and they avoid confrontation. That's why they hide in the bin. So it makes sense. Also, that entire sequence is rad.
Honestly,
I gotta admit, the Commando Elite are cool.
They are fucking so cool. Honestly,
everything else is just a toy.
Every line that they were saying was amazing. I cannot picture anyone else voicing Chip Hazard other than Tommy Lee Jones now.
And Tommy Lee Jones fucking crushed it.
I think that is something that I would literally call perfect casting.
Oh, for sure. All of the Commando Elite are just great. I mean, I'd say I really like the Gorgonites. As far as if the toys were real, the Gorgonites are what I would go for because I love obviously monsters and creature features and stuff. But as far as actual entertainment value in the film, for sure the Commando Elite are amazing. Just there's so many great sequences, like when they're catapulting the pills into the mum's drink to put her to sleep. And just strategizing against them all. It's so cool.
And literally, because I think a lot of people didn't like this film because it came out only a few years after Toy Story came out, and I think people just weren't happy with a few, not when I say a few similarities, I'm not talking about, they didn't carbon copy it, but I think they were just like, oh, look, another toy film, but it's not going to be as good as Toy Story. And then, with him basically retconning Gremlins almost, and just redoing Gremlins, but with toys instead of, Gremlins.
I've always seen this as Gremlins for kids, even though it's still almost just as graphic as Gremlins is. I'm pretty sure more kids would have been traumatized by this than Gremlins. I know so many people that were traumatized by the Barbie scene.
Fucking so sick. Or the Gwendy doll, sorry.
Yeah, but that scene was fucking great. But yeah, I think people were upset about the Toy Story thing because it was parents had, thanks to Toy Story, been predisposed to think oh, toys coming to life, that's family friendly and cute and sweet. And then they let their kids watch Small Soldiers thinking it's more of that, and it's very not.
No, it's just the toys which you would, with it being, America and whatnot, you would assume that the Commando Elites are there to destroy the, evil-looking alien things and protect America. G.I. Joe hype riding on the back probably, and then it's just randomly, the roles are reversed and the commandos are the cunt bags essentially. But no,
the just saying about toys and stuff, and the merch that this had was phenomenal. I have most of the toys. I had all of the toys when I was a kid. Um, I used to spend my pocket money like every week at car boots, like finding all the stuff that I could from it. And I mean, like the full scale talking Archer and Ship Hazard are just awesome. They're so accurate to the film. Like the colors a bit off, but like they're still really good. And then like they did some extra designs that weren't in the film. Like they did Flat Shoe as one of the figures that like they show in the presentation at the beginning. Like he shows a card, like Blue Man Group Man shows a cardboard one, but they actually made the toy of it.
Oh, that's cool.
He doesn't fart though, or belch, whatever it is.
Oh, what a
Um,
travesty!
yeah, he just shoots a chunk of his back off for some bizarre reason.
Oh.
It's a really weird action feature. But like you could get vehicles for them as well, and the vehicles are even homemade weapons. Like one of them is a power drill motorbike, or is it a nail gun motorbike? See, it's either a power drill or a nail gun, one of the two. But like it's true to the film. They're so goddamn cool.
All the things they were doing
I
were so creative as well. I loved it. Just randomly just taking the tools and knickknacks and bits. It was just like Sid from Toy Story on crack.
Oh, for sure. Also, like just the way that they deal with them when they, that whole sort of like big war at the end. It has like my favorite line in any film. With what was it? What are you packing? Packing you, and shoots him with the net. So goddamn good. And then like the music as well is the most just 90s music ever. I love it.
Oh, where was it? I put one of the. I literally just wrote down the song somewhere that started playing. Oh,
Isn't it?
I don't know
Britney
where it
Spears?
is.
I tell you
No.
what I really, really want. No,
Oh, I'll find it eventually when I'm looking through.
that's the
But
Barbie scene, isn't it?
my God, Alan's dad, Sam Witwicky's dad. That man has been on a
No. Alan's dad. Alan came first.
just playing the same type of dad where his son's just a bit of a fucking troublemaker that doesn't really like do much, and then some extraterrestrial type of non-earthly almost thing happens with the family, saves the day, house gets blown up, and man claims insurance from the government.
What was with Alan having like a weirdly dark past though?
I know, but
It's
I'm
so
fairly
out of
sure he
place.
I don't think he set the school on fire. I think he just like rang the fire alarm or called like the bomb squad or something, or said
The
that there
way
was like.
the way that scene is shot makes it seem like he like did something absolutely diabolical. It's but I love the fact that she's just like, yeah, you like set fire to your school or something, and then she like puts her hair behind her ear, like she's like, oh wow, that's so hot.
Oh my, well, she does like. There is a note. Where did I put it? She likes bad boys. She
Oh yeah,
literally.
hops on the motorbike, man.
I
On
only
his
date
bike, I
older
mean.
guys. That's what she says. Oh, another one bites the dust. Good song choice is what I put.
Oh
Happened
yeah,
a few
that
times.
was a good
I
one.
had the PS1 game for this when I was younger, but when I had a look at
I still
how it
have it.
looked, it looks pretty dated.
I still have it. I've coincidentally played it fairly recently. Um, the game is based on the world building of the toy line in the film, if that makes any kind of sense. It
Mm,
takes place on Gorgon, like, the Gorgonites' homeworld,
yeah.
and it's them fighting off the Commando Elite. So it's got nothing to do with the film. It's to do with like the actual storyline of the toys. It's very strange. The game's okay. It's really hard. Because it's got like no draw distance, and the Commando Elite will just shoot you from the other side of the map, and you can't see them or react to them because they actually haven't rendered in yet. Um,
Those
but
types
it's
of fun
it's it's
games.
okay. I played it a bunch when I was a kid because of how obsessed I was with the film, and it's fine. It's meh.
I can't believe
It's
flipping
passable.
Rissy's dad, man, at the beginning and just started like chopping the tree in the neighbour's
You
garden.
mean Troy McClure?
I mean, I think that guy was also in like oh shit, what the fuck was it called? I'm fairly sure he's in like an episode of like Ghostbusters, Goosebumps.
Oh, I think so. This was the film where I realized that the voice he does in The Simpsons isn't put on; it's just how he talks.
I'm trying to find his name whilst looking on Google quickly, but I cannot find his name randomly. He doesn't appear in the top cast.
That's kind of crazy. Especially
I've just-
considering the lady that plays Bart Simpson was pretty high up in the list on Godzilla, and
When
she's in it
was
for like less than a fraction of a bloody second.
when was Sarah Michelle Gellar in this movie?
What the fuck? When was Sarah Michelle Gellar in this movie?
What? I don't
Wait,
believe.
is she? Are they watching like Buffy in the background at some point? They are. They're watching Buffy. The Gorgonites are watching it on the telly at some point. I swear. That's maybe why she's credited.
I was going to say, I swear I didn't flipping remember her being in it. Well, no, I think she might have been. I think she was one of the Gwendy dolls. She voiced one of the Gwendy dolls.
Oh, that would make sense.
Bonica Gwendy.
Uh,
Oh, and Christina Ricci was a Gwendy doll too. What the hell?
that's wild.
That is one of
Jesus.
some cool ass flipping bits to find out. But no,
We haven't spoken much about the story, but I feel like if you haven't seen Small Soldiers at this point, that's kind of on you.
the
But
small gist is some toy company line puts in some military microchips, and they essentially learn, become like sentient, and start causing havoc pretty much. And then it's
because they
Transformers
put
but toys.
munitions chips in them, they put munitions chips in them that were supposed to guide like ballistic missiles, which somehow makes toys super turbo sentient. But whatever.
And the way he searches for finding those chips was amazing. It was just good chip, pretty much is what he
Yeah,
was typing in the search thing.
I think it was supposed to be a sort of satirical take on the whole idea that these like huge military contractors like put no money into their actual like security and stuff and are putting it all into their marketing and research and development. I think maybe.
Okay. But one thing I did find out that Stan Winston and his special effects group met up with Hasbro to better understand how toys work, which to me is just very cool. And the fact that it feels nice to hear that the crew were putting in like that extra effort to make the film better.
I
Which
don't doubt it. I love Stan Winston so much. I mean, his team and ILM just did a phenomenal job on this. When they are using practical puppets, it's so good. I do think it's got the same issue as Godzilla had of maybe using CGI in places where it didn't need to at times. I think when Archer runs across the table and jumps down when he's like first sort of reveals himself to Alan, I feel like that's such a broad shot and such an easy movement to do. Maybe I'm wrong, but like you see him walking, just do that but quicker.
just speed it up.
Like I don't know, there's just a few bits where I kind of wish they used more practical models, but the film looks great. It's aged
It does.
so
Yes,
well.
I was about to say that. I was like, it's aged actually surprisingly well, and even the sort of CGI or animatronic type of things that they did still just looks good. Like you can tell it's a '90s movie, and there's literally nothing wrong with that at all.
Also, one thing that I think was really important that they pulled off so well is if you're making a film like this in live action, the toys have to be believable as toys. And I think they did a really good job of that. Like these they don't look like toys that you would get at the time just because of the scale of them. But the articulation and everything is like exactly what you expect it to be. Like these are very much like what I expect modern kidult toys to be like. It's
Big
just
old
very
chunky
believable. They did a
toys.
great job.
All right, for sure. And this film had so many one-liners that just were making me chuckle. Like when Alan's mum just literally goes, "Are you on crack, Alan?" Just straight out, just being like, "You on crack? Tell me right now. Are you
The
on crack?"
writing is great.
What else? Let's have a look in here. There's when just Chrissy's dad just sat on the couch. It's just like I think World War II was my favorite war. Like what the hell?
Chrissy's dad just has so many good lines. He's like one of my favorite characters. I know you're supposed to hate him, but he's just great. Also, MILF alert for Alan's mum. She's when she's schwacking those fiery tennis balls back. It's very very attractive. It's kind of weird because when I was watching it as a kid, this is up there with Jumanji as films that made me had a massive crush on Kirsten Dunst when I was a kid. a crush that was lost when I saw her in Spider-Man and realized that she is basically a smiley face balloon with a smiley face drawn on it, in as far as her charisma and acting skill. But she was okay in this. But now watching it as an adult, now I want his mum.
I mean, she was good in Hidden Figures, to be fair. But yes, I had the same sort of, not with the mum, but I had a crush on her, and I think it lasted all the way up until the second Spider-Man film, which for me, I actually think is the worst Spider-Man one.
You fucking what?
Yeah, it's the worst one. It annoyed me so much watching it. Like, holy fuck! I literally was just like, get off my screen.
Why?
Get off my screen. It was.
Oh wait, she annoyed you watching it, or the film
just
annoyed
the
you?
film itself. Her as well on it, because it was just. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it.
What was wrong with the film?
It's a thing for another time. But
It
goddamn,
is. It is.
Jumanji. Yeah,
Goddamn.
I watched Jumanji when I was younger, and then I watched Small Soldiers, and I don't think it was up until Bring It On that I'd seen her in anything else. I'm fairly sure it was Bring It On. Yeah, it must have been Bring It On. That was the next thing I saw her in before Spider-Man, and then after Spider-Man, I don't think I saw her in anything else.
She kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened. Like, she was really good in Jumanji and she was good in Small Soldiers, but just Spider-Man, she's just Plank from Ed, Ed and Eddie. She has just no emotion.
Sam Plank is a great character. How dare you lob Plank in with that? Ed and Eddie was actually a fucking crack TV show.
Ed and Eddie was amazing. Also, do you remember the finale when he finally confronts his brother? That was dark as fuck.
Just that time of cartoons was just insane. Codename Kisner's Thor, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Courage the Cowardly Dogman. They were just.
My daughter's recently started watching The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy with me, and she loves it, and I'm so proud of her.
So fucking good. Like, I literally distinctly remember one episode in Ed, Ed and Eddie where the weird, like, older teenage girls suddenly grow really, really tall, and I can just picture the scene when they're at their trailer park and they just have really, really long legs that have hair on.
I vaguely remember that. All I can really remember is just the little kid with the braces and the guy that's like, life has many doors, Ed boy.
Rolf.
Rolf, that was it. Rolf has just burned into my brain. I love him.
Rolf was insane, to be fair. But no, back to the film at hand. Like, there was one bit where Chrissy was talking off what looked like an MP3 player to Alan at one point. I don't even know how old Alan is. Like, I think he's 15.
He looks like a 60-year-old in a 15-year-old's body.
How old was Alan in Small Soldiers?
He's also like he looks like
he was 15. Okay, that's fine, because I was really like confused.
He looks like he could be Kirsten Dunst's little brother.
Yes, because
when he stood next to her,
I was so confused because she was just like, I only date older guys, and the jock person like comes and picks her up, and he was just like flirting with her.
Grown ass man.
And I was just like, is this okay? Do I need to like call like 999 type of thing? It was just very weird. And she literally, when he like comes up to like rescue her when she screams, he comes and tries, but he gets bamboozled the same way she did by the toys. And then, Alan comes in and like half-ass saves her randomly. And then she's just like, you saved me, then kisses her. And I was just like,
yeah.
Weren't you dating a guy like all of about 5 minutes ago?
I kind of love and hate the trope of just like the person that the love interest is currently with is just a non-character because it's not the main character. It's just like you already know that they are either not going to be together and they'll just be forgotten about, or there will be some stupid reason why they can't be together. Like, oh yeah, that guy, he actually beats me. Or like, oh, he's cheating on me with somebody else. Or he's only dating me because I'm the popular girl. And then he will have no character and instantly be replaced and forgotten about once the main character has reached the point in the story where they can be with them.
Or does something heroic and just all that type of shit. I mean, yeah, it is an annoying trope, and I don't think Alan really did anything. I think, no offense to her, I think she's a hoe. As soon as you tell me that you like only date older guys, boom, hoe. She didn't like him. Why that she's just doing it for her own personal gain. I mean,
did you actually? For some reason, that just reminds me. Did you think that she was trying to steal Archer or Chip Hazard, whichever one it is that she puts in her bag?
Yes.
The amount of times I watched it when I was a kid, where I like I must have just blacked out between that happening and her giving it to him, and just assumed that she'd stolen it and he'd caught her. And then, like, watching it as an adult, I was like,
It does look like
"Oh,
that.
she was protecting it.
Yeah,
Okay,
it did.
I just assumed she stole it."
Yeah, it did really look like that. When I was watching, I was like, she's just literally pinched it, and Alan's not said anything. But yeah, I think it is that sort of she was trying to protect it. But I mean, I think my favorite fucking line from this film is when they do see the Gwendy dolls, and one of them is just like, "Request the 3-day pass, sir," just to go fuck some dolls,
yeah.
essentially. And I literally was just like, "Oh my god."
Oh, we haven't even mentioned the little brother. One of my favorite scenes in it is when she opens the cupboard and he's like tied up with like tape on his mouth in the cupboard, and she just throws a coat on him.
That's literally the note I am reading right then. I mean, I get the baby brother was gagged, but you can make a sound and she would have heard you.
He could have like he
Yeah,
could
you
have
can
just
literally
kicked
like,
her or
you know,
wiggled.
little
coulda,
kids
like,
can scream.
He could have like wiggled in the path of the door or something. I don't know. That scene is just funny to me though, just like lobbing her coat on him. That seems like something my sister would do. If she saw me tied up in the cupboard, I think she would just do that anyway.
I mean, there was some definitely like, by all means, this is no perfect film or anything like that. It is just definitely a fun film for sure. If you go into watch Small Soldiers and you suddenly think you're getting like a Godfather Oscar-winning worthy film, you're watching the wrong film to begin with.
You're getting a better film.
Potentially, yes, depending on what Oscar film you watch. But I mean, God, seeing just the '90s stuff was just making me feel old. Like when the fucking videotape flew through, being like "Surrender," I was like, "Oh my God, I actually haven't seen a fucking videotape in so long."
Yeah. When the annoying Simpsons neighbor is like showing off the surround sound and TV, I was like, "Oh, that was my dad."
Yeah.
Oh, I remember like not getting one of those expensive ones, but like getting one of those all-in-one systems, and like my dad being so gassed about it. So it's so weird seeing all these things. I think it's one of them films like if you didn't grow up in the 90s or you're not like the right age group for this, it's going to seem like alien technology to you. Or it's going to
It
just
is.
seem so old.
That's why Phil Hartman didn't appear on the top one, because he was murdered.
Wait, what?
I'm fairly sure some fiasco happened with him where he got murdered, like literally, I think a few days.
What, the Simpsons guy?
Yeah, Phil Hartman. He died in like 1998. So some things
What?
had to be like cut randomly. I'm fairly sure.
That's what? What?
Hold on, let me
What?
just type it in. Yeah, he died. Like he died a few. What caused? After 2 divorces, Hartman married Bryn. Blah 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 blah. Married a lady. Their marriage was troubled due to Bryn's drug and alcohol abuse. In 1998, while Phil was sleeping in his bed, Bryn shot and killed him and later committed suicide.
The fuck?
So yeah, some like things for like the release of the film had to be like changed. Phil Hartman. I'm fairly sure that was the person you're on about.
It is Phil Hartman.
No, let me see if he was in an episode of. Oh no, he's the dad in Jingle All the Way. That's where I know him from.
Wait, what? Is he? I do not remember him being in Jingle All the Way, and I fucking love that film.
Yeah, he's the other dad, the one that likes almost.
Oh yeah.
He plays a guy called Ted.
Sorry, the only people that I remember existing in Jingle All the Way is Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god, he was in a video game called Blasto. I remember that.
Jesus Christ. Well, I think we've covered everything there is to know about this film, kind of. I mean, people don't really know what the story is, but just go watch it.
I haven't covered the second best line of "I love the smell of polyurethane in the morning."
Oh yeah, Chip Hazard just has so many just good lines.
Yes, this was the best bit in the credits. Literally by chance, because I just looked to the left of the screen, I saw a thing that was a credit for Universal Best Boy, in which someone called O'Shanna Walker received that. And I was literally just
Best
like,
Boy is an actual role.
is it actually?
In film.
What does that even mean? I don't know what that means at all. I've never seen that before. Is a senior electrician on a film crew? No fucking way is that actually a thing. I just saw it and I was like, what? What the hell?
Yeah, it's.
I so wanted Small
I
Soldiers
don't
too.
know. I don't know why it's called a best boy, but that is an actual film role.
Fuck. I wanted Small Soldiers 2 really badly, as they almost hinted at it at the end of the film.
I mean, what would it be? It'd just be them going to not Gorgon because it doesn't exist. Lol.
Well, no, the dude that
fuck, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The Jill Mars, I'm fairly sure it was the fucking guy that that took over the company.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh, I have a guy in like the military that could use this type of technology, and I was like, are they just gonna get like a revival of it, and it will
Nah, I think that was just a joke.
Well, no, I wanted it to come back.
It'd be pretty cool if like Chip Hazard isn't dead somehow, and he comes back. I don't know. It's a good one and done kind of film. I don't really know what more you could do with it. They kind of covered everything, and you couldn't make it now because it's just toy culture isn't what it was back then. Kids are more interested in slime and fucking blind bags and stuff now.
Kids aren't even.
I don't think kids these days even have action figures.
No, I'm more interested in whichever Fortnite character is coming out, or whichever gritty or whatever the fuck it's called dance can happen. It's too much weird shit nowadays.
That's the like, as somebody that is a toy collector and is very interested in toys and action figures and things, it is. I worked at a toy shop and it was just depressing looking at some of the toy lines that like there's just nothing interesting anymore because kids don't care. They're not into toys. They don't want action figures. They don't want to use their imaginations. They want everything spelled out for them in like video games and YouTube
and if it is
stuff.
toys,
It's sad to me.
It's just not like it's just some like knockoff, really cheap type of plastic. It's not even like a cool toy.
Yeah, I mean, like
when you get to adulthood and you start buying like anime figures or going back and reliving your childhood, that's when you.
Well, you say that, but that is like kid alt stuff is massive now, and that is like a lot of the like action adventure aisle was just kid alt stuff. It was all the Marvel Legends figures and stuff for the adults. Like none of the kids were really buying it. The toys that I saw being sold the most was stuff like the die-cast cars from Cars. Because there were some little dorks that were collecting those. I say dorks, but I mean it affectionately because it's something I would have done when I was a kid.
Dorks.
And then like Nerf guns and stuff. But that was about it. Really.
I missed out Nerf guns, to be fair.
I didn't really have any when I was a kid, but I think they were a bit late for me.
As a kid, I collected Pokemon figures. As my dad went to Switzerland once and just brought back a load of them. I think because it was by one of the toy companies. And I think Switzerland just has a lot of knockoff stuff anyway. So I have no idea how real, but I'm fairly sure he went and he basically just came home with hundreds of Pokemon, and they were the same as the ones that you could buy over in the UK. I remember buying, the weird little like marble or the balls in the bottom of the Pokemon. I'm really good at explaining.
They're Pokemon. They're Tomy sliders.
Like
I
Mewtwo.
still have a few of those.
And then the one that was like a Game Boy that you pressed the Game Boy screen and it shot out a marble.
That was a Burger King toy.
I remember that. I used to collect Power Ranger figures out the wazoo. I used to collect Bionicles, and I think, and that was pretty much the extent of. Oh no, I also used to get shit. It wasn't. Well, I did get Connects, yes, but it was like, oh my god, it was almost like expensive Lego.
Connects was one of those things. Like I had Meccano. But I kept making crossbows out of it and shooting my sister, so I got my Meccano taken off of me. So then I moved on to Connects, and I kept making crossbows out of it and shooting my sister with it, so I got my Connects taken away.
What you got against your sister?
We were horrible to each other. And then like I think with Lego, I somehow managed to fashion some sort of ballista or something out of that to shoot my sister with. So I think got my
there's
Lego taken
something
away
wrong with you. I used to collect this toy figure set where they had dragons.
And
it
Lego
was like,
Knights?
I think it was Mega Bloks Dragons.
Oh, it was Mega Bloks. Mega Bloks. Either Dragons or Knights. One of the two. I had quite a few of those. The Dragons were pretty fucking cool, actually.
I used to collect so much of this. Holy fuck! I'm just looking at it now. That was the shit.
Absolute liability when I was a kid. I also like this. This is gonna. To anyone that doesn't know me, I'm going to sound like an absolute psychopath. I had like an actual toy crossbow, but it was like a kiddie one that like fired little suction cup darts. And I took the suction cups off, and I like duct taped the little Phillips head screwdrivers to it. I didn't shoot my sister with those.
I don't believe you.
But I shot my like wooden chest of drawers with it to the point where my dad came in one day and he was like, "Why have you carved loads of pluses into your chest of drawers?" And I was like, "Yep, that's what I've done."
Yep, nothing else to see here, Dad. Carry on.
And then I think he eventually put 2 and 2 together and found the bolts that I'd made and was like, "Fuck, man, I've got to take this away now." I think he let me have the crossbow, but he took the string off of it. So I think at one point I went to a car boot and I bought a slingshot and took the string off of that, the elastic off of that, and put it on it instead.
You
I was
are
a
actually
wild
a
child.
menace, holy fuck. Literal menace.
On that
Menace
note,
to societies, I know. But yes, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Tell us if you watched Small Soldiers, or don't tell us, as people tend to do. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care. Goodbye.
take care now. Bye.